Oh, by the way, I just want to say, before I start this video, the winner of my giveaway from the last video that I did is, I will put it on the screen here. Thank you guys so much for entering. I will definitely be doing more giveaways. Just stay tuned with all of my upcoming videos because I will definitely be doing more. Oh god, I hope this doesn't fall. It's not really high up enough, is it? You're currently balanced on top of a glass IKEA jar and a water bottle. Let's see, is there anything in this drawer I can use? Found a tin. That's a bit better. So as you can see, I'm back on my floor and I'm gonna do some more decluttering. The majority of you guys said that you would really like to see a part 2 of my decluttering. There's gonna be like part 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 probably. And yes, I still have not got around to sorting out fully the box of my kind of giveaway stuff that I was gonna do last time. I am sending out a few boxes to a few people on Twitter, and then I am definitely gonna put some stuff on Depop. Haven't got around to that because I've been so busy recently. I'm trying to like juggle all this stuff to do with the house and all these legal documents, and I don't know how to adult. I did explain this in my previous video, so if you haven't seen that, I said that the makeup that I am getting rid of is not going in the bin. It will either be going to friends and family, women's shelters, charities that will accept it, used giveaways on Twitter, and yeah, probably just my Twitter. And also some of it that's like been, you know, swatched once or not even used or used once, I will be putting on my Depop. Twitter is Soph Does Life, Depop is Soph Does Nails. Today I'm going to try and get through the majority of the rest of my makeup, see if I can. It might get too long and I might have to make a part 3 just for my makeup, because I will be doing my wardrobe as well. But we're going to start off with like eyebrow products, eye sort of products, glitters, that sort of thing, and my eyeshadow palettes. So let me just take you up here. Oh, you know what? Let's start with setting sprays. I don't really know if you can tell, but my favourite setting spray is the Urban Decay All-Nighter. And I do actually get through them, so I am going to hold on to all of my all-nighters. This is the Revolution Hyaluronic Fix Too Faced Hangover Primer. This is a new one that I haven't really properly tested yet, so I'm going to hold on to that for now, although I should probably put the lid on. Okay, right. This Ofra Makeup Fixer. I think I have used this once. It's still really full, and I just don't use it, so I'm going to get rid of that. The Skindinavia one, by the way, is the same as the Urban Decay ones. If you read the back of these, it says that it's like brought to you by Skindinavia. Yeah, you see there? I've got the Amora Visca one, which is so nice in the summer because it's like the most finely refreshing mist. I don't know why I've got this L'Oreal one, Shake and Glow. Have I even used that before? If I have, I will have used it once in a video. I have got a Body Shop Strawberry Smoothing Face Mist at the back here. Don't really use this too much, but it smells really nice. You know what? This drawer is not too bad. There's nothing in here that's like unusable or out of date or anything like disgusting. And this drawer is not too offensive. These little bottles, they are like mostly empty, but I actually keep these because they're really handy to refill. But I am gonna get rid of these two. Basically, this drawer is not too offensive, so that can stay like that. This next one down is my kind of loose eyeshadows, liquid eyeshadows, glitters and stuff like that. I have all of these glitters at the back here. Some of them are Revolution, and then the rest of these I just got on eBay. I got these around like 4 years ago when I was doing the Freedom Awards, but I always feel like there might be one time on Halloween where I want a bunch of multicolored glitters, like it goes all the way to the back, which seems kind of crazy. These ones are the ones that I don't really use as much. I'm gonna get rid of this one from the Gypsy Shrine because I can't really see myself using that. I've got a Violet Voss one, which is in copper. This is gorgeous, but again, I just don't really use it, and I think I've used it like once or twice. These were just like cheap from eBay, by the way. Same with all of these. These are literally, oh, I think I got them on Amazon actually. They're just like small pots of glitter, which wouldn't recommend putting these bigger ones on your eyes, but you can put them on your face and stuff for like festivals or, I don't know, crazy makeup looks. This one is Barry M, which is holographic. It's really cool, but again, this is too big to put on my eyes and I don't really see myself going to a festival anytime soon. Same with this Barry M one. It's like chunky blue. I'll get rid of that. I've got another one from the Gypsy Shrine, which is like pink duochrome. I'm gonna get rid of that one. Wow, I've got a lot of these Barry M ones. This one looks really similar to that Gypsy Shrine one. I'm gonna get rid of this pinky one. I'm gonna keep that Violet Voss one because that is pretty cool. Body Shop, Revolution. Okay, if I do go to a festival at some point and I did want like a body glitter, I would definitely use this like holographic one over the kind of pinky sort of ones, and there's also a gold, so I'm going to keep those two. Get rid of this one, which is like a whitey pinky sort of colour. And then all of these, I kind of need to see if they've dried up or not. This one was Stila Smoky Storm, which I absolutely love, but it's literally completely used up, not revivable, so that is probably gonna go in the bin. I don't go on nights out very often, but I mean, like, if you've got a special occasion or something and you want some easy glitter, just paint this on, blend it out, and you're good to go. Loads of my glitters actually are these Body Shop ones, Living My Best Light. These are gorgeous. These are probably like, they're kind of like a dupe for the Steeler ones, and they're definitely more affordable. I didn't even use this one. That can go. I didn't use this one either, which is this dark gold bronze sort of colour. So that can go. This is a Kiko like eye crayon stick eyeshadow thing. Okay, that definitely is not dried up. That's actually really pretty. To be honest, most of these since my last video, I reckon I'm probably going to hold on to because they don't take up too much space and they're all colours that I do wear. I've got some more of the Steeler ones. Oh, this one is, oh my god, this is the most stunning shade ever. Kitten Karma. Look at that. It is so stunning. I need to wear these more often. Rose Gold Retro, to be honest, I don't really use this one that much, but it is quite old to the point where I don't really think I could give this to someone else. But it's still not dried up. It's still going strong, so I am going to hold on to it. You know what? This drawer is not too bad. I have the MAC Rose Pigment, and I actually bought this, I think, for my 18th birthday. Or did my friends get me this for my 18th birthday? I can't remember. But I've literally like barely made a dent in it, as you can see. It's almost full. And I don't really use it, so I think I'm going to put this on Depop actually. I've got MAC Tan Pigment. Do you remember when this literally used to be like the shit? This is a small version, but again, I have barely used it, so I'm going to get rid of that. I've got a bunch of these Urban Decay individual eyeshadows. Oh my god, these are so gorgeous. I've got this gorgeous like olive green one, which is called Vortex. That is stunning. Like, they are so sparkly and beautiful. It's definitely not picking up because I'm facing the wrong way away from the light, but whatever. Moon Spoon. They are just so beautiful. Look at that. To be honest with you, I don't use single eyeshadows that often, but there's something about these that I can't part with them. I've got the two of the Mitchel liquid eyeliners in like the two kind of duochrome shades. I don't really use these. I only really like the gold ones. I'm gonna get rid of these two. Let's see, my Colourpop eyeshadows. Are they still usable? Yep, definitely still usable. This one is in Sequin. Remember when I used to love like a rose goldy sort of eye? Now I tend to go for something a lot more like neutral. This one is called Lala, which is pretty much like the same sort of orangey copper colour. Again, hasn't dried up. Pretty impressive. You know what? I think that will do. The rest of the stuff that's in here I want to keep. This is an LA Splash glitter eyeliner. To be honest, I think I've just used this once and I haven't used it since, so I'm going to get rid of that. That'll do for now. So this is the little collection so far. I know that it's not masses, but we're still going. So the next drawer down is brow stuff and eyeliners. I know this looks ridiculous and it does need a tidy, but I am trying to use up as many of these brow products as I can. This Lottie London one is nearly out. I've been trying to use this Hourglass one recently. I keep switching up all my different brow gels just so that I'm like making use of everything and actually getting through stuff. I guess the only things I need to get rid of in here are the ones that say blonde, because I fill in my brows a little bit darker now, so I'm going to get rid of this Revlon one. But today on my eyebrows, if you're wondering, I used both of these Hourglass gels. One of them is tinted in the shade Soft Brown, the other one is just the clear one, and then I also used my Lottie, nope, that's not it, my Lottie London brow pencil in medium, Arch Rival Brow Artist. Oh, I didn't really get along with this one. The NYX Full and Fluff brow pencil, so I'm going to get rid of that. Right, Soap Brows, very, like, popular. I didn't get on with it too well, but I am going to give it another go. The rest of these, okay, this Urban Decay thing. I've only actually used the lighter shade in here. I don't think I used the brow gel, and I haven't used the second shade, so I'm going to get rid of that because this is actually too light for me now. It was such a nice, like, cool blonde shade though, so if you have blonde hair and you want something that's cool toned, this is really nice. The Benefit Foolproof brow powder, as you can see, I made a pretty hefty dent in this side. I loved this so much, but for some reason I just don't really use brow powders anymore. But then I always seem to change my mind. Like, I used to use pomade, then I use powder, now I use pencil. I'm like constantly changing my mind, so I may as well keep it. This DIY brow bar from Soap and Glory, I don't really see myself using this again, to be honest, because that shade is definitely a bit too warm, so I'm going to get rid of that as it looks pretty new. Oh my goodness, if you have been here since Freedom was still a thing and the Freedom Duo brow powder was my everything. This was when I had grey hair. Like, my hair was literally the colour of my jumper. Does anyone remember that? I've got the Revolution Pro brow cushion. This just way too warm for me, so I'm going to get rid of that. That one is in blonde, so I'm going to get rid of that. This is the Iconic London brow cushion. Again, I just don't really get on with these brow cushions, so I'm going to get rid of that one. Oh, excuse me. I've got a Revolution brow palette, to be honest. This is really big. I can't imagine myself taking around with me something that is this big to do my eyebrows, so I'm going to get rid of that. This is the Urban Decay like updated version of the brow powder, I think. Again, I've used this once. That is actually too warm for me, so I'm gonna get rid. That is the shade Brunette Betty. Oh, look at the inside of my hand. It's literally covered in eyeshadow. I've got a mini Benefit roller eyeliner. I don't know what that's doing in here, but I don't need that. Then the rest of these are just like coloured eye pencils. I've got some white liquid eyeliners and stuff. These do not take up much room, so they're just going to stay in there. Same with my liquid eyeliners. I'm slowly trying to work my way through all of them, like using them one by one to just use them up and get rid of them, I guess. So that was like a micro declutter. Now we move on to the big boys. Eyeshadow. And eyeshadow. The first ones that I want to start with are eyeshadow palettes that are literally just like piled up here. This one on the top is the Zoeva All Night Long palette. Oh my god, I haven't even used it. That looks so nice, but do I need another neutral eyeshadow palette? I don't. This looks like a neutral eyeshadow palette that I would actually use because it's got an inner corner highlight shade, it's got light enough transition shades, it's got shimmery shades for the lid, and it's got matte darker colours for the outer corner of the eye. It really bothers me when I get an eyeshadow palette that's supposed to be like your kind of everyday palette, and then it either doesn't have like a transition colour, it doesn't have a matte dark shade for the outer corner, or it doesn't have an inner corner shimmery highlight. Then I'm just like, what is the point? So I'm gonna get rid of this because I've got so many neutral eyeshadow palettes. But Zoeva, this looks gorgeous. This one is the OPV Beauty Rainbow Splash palette. I have a feeling I haven't used this one either. Oh my god. As suspected, I haven't used it. This palette looks beautiful if you are into your colourful bright shades. We all know me, I don't tend to venture out and do anything that creative in my day-to-day life. So I think I'm going to give this away because I'm sure someone that loves their bright colours would absolutely love that. I have got the Rude Cosmetics Roaring 20s palette, which, oh my, tried this before Christmas, absolutely flipping loved it. Like the eyeshadows in here are just on another level, so I'm definitely going to keep that. Let me just put these to one side. The reason they're piled up is because they literally cannot physically fit into my drawer. That is when you know you have a problem and you need to declutter. I've got Mitchel's palette, which I love. The only thing I don't love is that the mirror always falls out and goes all over the place, but this palette, Mitchel, Me, Myself and I with Beauty Bay, it is a gorgeous palette, absolutely stunning, beautiful colours. I just wish it was a bit more compact because it's quite weighty. Speaking of eyeshadow palettes you wish were more compact, it's huge. But of course I'm keeping my Shane Dawson Conspiracy palette because if I didn't, I think you might all actually kill me. Maybe I should, you know what, when they restock this, or before they restock this, I'm going to do another video using that to see what other looks I can get with it. Classy Beauty definitely keeping. Patricia Bright eyeshadow palette, which is covered in dust. I haven't really used this since I filmed with it, but I definitely want to. I want to like play around with it more. And then the Morphe Hit the Lights palette. Do I need this as well as the James Charles palette? The main thing that I hate about the Morphe palettes is they are so flipping huge. Why do you have to take up so much space? Right, let's bring my makeshift tripod over. Sometimes I actually marvel at my own stupidity. If this fell and my camera broke, it would be entirely my fault. While we are here with eyeshadow palettes, I've got to do this. I did have a big stack of the Beauty Bay original palettes that they came out with, which are such good palettes, but again, they're so big, they're so thick, and they didn't fit in my drawer. So I did just have them sitting in a pile underneath my bin. But honestly, I haven't really used them since then because I love the formula of the Beauty Bay eyeshadows, but I way prefer their palettes that are like 9. Do you know what I mean? The smaller ones, because there's something about me and big palettes that they just infuriate me. However, if you do like to travel and for example you were going somewhere where you wanted a palette with a big mirror so you can see your whole face. Oh yeah, look, this is my makeshift tripod. Da-da. Then this would be really good. Like if you are the type of person that doesn't buy tons of palettes and you just want one palette that has got everything in it, then this is great and I could see why it would appeal. But when you're someone like me that's got like probably 200 eyeshadow palettes, then this one is the Going Out palette, which I don't actually think I've used. I have not even used it. Goodbye. We then have the Identity palette, which, oh my god, this is so stunning. But again, it's too big. And finally, we have Evolve, which, oh, this is also beautiful. This one's more of a kind of earthy toned palette, and it's really, really pretty. See ya. But my recent favourite eyeshadow palette is this one, which is currently out of stock on the website. But the Beauty Bay, like 9 pan eyeshadow palettes, I think are like £8 or something. They're so affordable, and this nude matte one is my favourite. So when this comes back in stock, I hope it comes back in stock, I would just highly recommend it if you like matte eyeshadows. This one is my drugstore eyeshadow palettes. If I just turn you around, obviously I'm going to be keeping my Extra Spice palettes because I mean, imagine if I was like, nah, they can go. Wonder which shade I use the most. I don't know why I've got 2 of them though. One of them is just like to look nice. When I used to do content for Revolution, they were like, take a new one so that, you know, when you hold it up, it looks better. So that is why. I've got Original Soap, which is literally stuck together with duct tape. Right, this is where we get brutal. Have I used this recently? No. This is another one of the Beauty Bay ones. That is gorgeous. Such a nice palette. I'm going to keep that actually. This Primark one, the Masterclass palette, the dupe of the James Charles one, I'm not going to keep that because I have the James Charles one. Flormar Sunset eyeshadow palette. Did I even use that? This looks like a dupe for the Naked Heat. I can't even remember what I thought of it. That's the problem. The Revolution, what are you? Neutrals versus Neutrals. Oh my goodness, this is one of my original favourite eyeshadow palettes from Revolution before like I even worked with them, but I just don't use it anymore. This is really old actually, so I'm gonna get rid of that. The Zoeva Cocoa Blend palette, unfortunately I am gonna get rid of this because I haven't used it since my last declutter, so that's gonna go. This is the thing, so many of these palettes are just the same thing over and over and over again. Obviously I'm keeping Carmi's palette because this is stunning. Like for a drugstore palette, this one is so different. Same with Tammy's Tropical Carnival palette. Even though this is broken, I am gonna keep it. Oh, okay, this is so sad. That's a lot more broken than I remember. I thought it was just like one shade that is smashed, but I am still going to keep it. I guess I could try and fix the shades, but I'm worried that I would mess them up. I don't know what to do with this. I couldn't actually return it to Superdrug because they didn't have them in stock when I was exchanging it, and they were like, we can't give you a refund, we can only exchange it. So I ended up just sticking with the broken one. The NYX Swear By It palette. This is really nice, but it's also really big, and I think I've, again, got most of these shades in other palettes, so I am gonna get rid of it. This is the Cosmify Iconica palette, which was a collaboration with a bunch of Italian influencers, I think. And there's a girl called, I think her name's Gia. Well, doesn't that make me a terrible person because I can't remember how to pronounce her name? But she gave me this palette when I went to a meetup, and I'm definitely keeping it because it is stunning. This Barry M Treasure Chest palette, haven't used it since I filmed with it, so I'm going to get rid of that. This is another Revolution palette. I haven't really used it too much, so I'm going to get rid of that one. I think it's the Flawless 3. Oh no, it's Flawless 4. I've got both of Raddy's recent palettes with Obsession. These are stunning, and I think they're so like different for drugstore eyeshadow palettes, so I'm definitely keeping both of those because I think she's done an amazing job with them. I haven't even tested this colourful one yet, but I am yet to, and I definitely will because the pigmentation of the other ones was so good. So let's just briefly put these over here. This is a Nip and Fab eyeshadow palette, which is really nice, but again, got all of these shades pretty much in other palettes, so I'm going to get rid of that. Same with this one under here. NYX Love You So Mochi palette. I haven't used it since my last declutter, so that's gonna go. The NYX Ultimate Brights palette I am gonna hang on to because it is really handy for doing like festival looks and stuff. The MUA like multicolored palette is pretty much the same, so I'm gonna get rid of that. This little Patrick Star palette. How do I even open this with one hand? Come on. There we go. To be honest, those are shades that I would use, and I'm definitely favouring like small eyeshadow palettes these days, so I am actually going to hold on to that, although it's in the wrong drawer. It should be in my high-end drawer. And NYX glitters, not going to use those, they can go. These collection palettes haven't used since my last declutter, so they can go. This one was from Poundland, never used it since the video, so that can go. This is some face paint at the back here, so I will keep that for future videos. This I'm going to keep because it's relatively small. This is another colourful palette. This one is by Sleek, but again, I don't need this if I've got other like colourful eyeshadow palettes, so I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to keep my NYX, what's this called? Warm Neutrals palette, just because it's a really good like staple to have, and those two stack on top of each other quite nicely. This is the Revolution Rose Gold like mini chocolate eyeshadow palette. To be honest, this is a bit too pink toned for me now, so I'm going to get rid of that. This is the Zoella and Colourpop Brunch Date palette. I'm going to keep this because those are my kind of shades. Love the packaging, and it is very slim, so it does fit in here quite nicely. This one is by Me. You know what, that is a stunning palette. I think I'm going to keep it. This was the original sample for my Soph palette, like with all the shades and stuff, so that can just go to the back because I want to keep it for memories. I need to add this into my everyday makeup bag to try and use it up. The Maybelline Gigi Hadid eyeshadow palette. It was really expensive for what it was, but it's actually really nice quality, so I'm going to keep it because it's small. There's a theme here. I like small eyeshadow palettes. This Revolution one, used to love it. I never use it anymore. It's the Iconic 3 palette. That's gonna go. We are building quite the pile next to me here. Does anyone remember when these massive, like 35 shade eyeshadow palettes were in? I'm gonna get rid of that. I've literally used it once. I'm gonna keep one of these Revolution chocolate bar palettes. I'm gonna get rid of this purple one because I don't really use purple eyeshadows very often. The winner is the Revolution I Heart Makeup Salted Caramel palette, and I'm going to get rid of the original. Tammy's original eyeshadow palette. To be honest, I prefer her second one, but I am going to keep this only because I've like destroyed it, kind of. I accidentally sprayed setting spray all over it, and then the eyeshadows went all like hard, so I had to scrape it. It was a thing. And then I've got Carmi's original palette, which is Kiss of Fire, which, to be honest, I don't really use this one and I feel so bad. But I personally think that Carmi's second palette is a lot better. This was a beautiful palette, but they're just not the type of shades that I really wear. But all of these ones can now go back in here. Wow. There's a lot of space in here now. So I can now fit my Patricia Bright palette in here. I can fit my Mitchel palette in here, which isn't technically drugstore, but I'm still counting it as the kind of more affordable drawer. And now we move on to the high-end drawer. I think I'm going to have to save my highlighters for another video because this is getting so long. We all know that I'm keeping this because it is the smallest eyeshadow palette I've ever seen, but that makes me extremely happy because they're all shades that I would use, and this is the type of thing I want to put in my drawer. Not like this. Or this. The Urban Decay Naked Honey palette. Stunning. Look at this goodness. Any shades that are like gold, bronze, brown are my kind of thing. I'm not really into like the pinks and bright oranges anymore. Although I have to say my preferences, the mini ones. Urban Decay Petite Heat, Urban Decay Aphrodisiac palette. This on the other hand, it's big. It's really big. James Charles, I know you did a smaller one. Thank you. But Morphe, can you please start making like way smaller palettes? This NARS palette is literally like my perfect shades. So I'm going to keep that. What is this called? Skin Deep eyeshadow palette. Stunning. This Ciate one, it's small, so I like it. But I haven't actually worn this, so I'm going to get rid of it. I think I have swatched it, but I haven't worn it, so I'm going to get rid. It's probably a bit too like purpley for me anyway. James Charles palette I'm going to keep. Let me just take it out. This Charlotte Tilbury palette, probably like the best, one of the best eyeshadow palettes I've ever tried. Like, excuse me, what? But this was limited edition. It's called the Icon palette, and I don't think it's still available, so I'm going to keep this forever probably. This is an Ofra palette, the Pro palette. That's blush. Okay, that's blush. I'm going to get rid of it because it's too big, and I could take out one of the smaller shades and put it in a magnetic palette, but the Ofra blushes that are my favourite I've got singles of, so I'm going to get rid of that. The Urban Decay Backtalk palette. This is really pretty. It's got highlighters and it's also got eyeshadows, but again, these aren't really my shades anymore. I don't really wear these kind of pinky colours, so I'm going to get rid of that. Urban Decay Naked Heat. I'm going to keep it for now because I do love the Urban Decay palettes, but one that I know that I definitely have not used recently is the Urban Decay Naked Cherry. It's gorgeous, but again, too pinky purple for me at the minute. The Kathleenlights Dream Street palette with Colourpop. I don't use this enough. I'm gonna keep it because I love Kathleen and it is skinny, so it's okay. The Huda Beauty Rose Gold Remastered palette. I'm gonna keep it because it's the only Huda Beauty eyeshadow palette. No, I'm lying to you. I've got the mini ones. This is the Urban Decay Born to Run palette, which is really nice, but I think I prefer that other palettes, you know? Can somebody please tell me why my Norvina palette looks like this? I don't use it. It's too purple. I don't use it, but what is this? Apparently, an eyeshadow has smashed in the drawer somewhere and just gone all over this palette. Manny's original Life's a Drag palette. I just don't really use it. So like, I love this half, don't really use the colourful half. And I'm gonna get rid of it because it's quite chunky. The Be Perfect and Stacey Marie Carnival palette is a stunning multicolored palette. It is chunky, which infuriates me, but I'm gonna keep it because it's really nice. The Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette is, you know, it's nice. Don't really use it much. Do I keep it or do I get rid of it? Somebody please tell me. This one at the back is like a dupe of the Morphe 350. Does anyone remember that palette? But I haven't used this in forever, so I'm gonna get rid of it. Manny's most recent palette with Morphe. Love this. Love, love, love. So I'm gonna keep that. My Makeup Geek shadows I am gonna keep. The Laura Lee Nudie Patootie palette. Oh, this palette is stunning. I'm gonna keep it for now. Again, next declutter it might disappear, but it is stunning. Manny's original Makeup Geek palette, I love that, and it is signed by him, so I'm not gonna get rid of it. Laura Lee Cat's Pajamas palette. Yeah, I prefer the Nudie Patootie, so I'm gonna get rid of the cat's pajamas. Why is this covered in cat hair? The Urban Decay Naked palette. Never getting rid of this because it was discontinued, and it's like a rare limited edition item. This is the Blank Canvas Master Series 1 palette, another stunning eyeshadow palette. I need to stop keeping so many. Okay, this one I have not used in forever. The Dominique Cosmetics Latte palette. I'm gonna get rid of that. This is just a empty magnetic palette. This is another one of Jordan's. Oh, I did not realize I had this at the back here. The Huda Beauty Warm Brown Obsessions. Right, let's get to the bottom of this. Okay, right, so I'm keeping those. Let me just put them to one side. Keeping this. Jaclyn Hill palette. You know what? I don't use it. I'm gonna get rid of it. Oh my god, this is too big. The Be Perfect Carnival palette I'm going to keep, so let's put that towards the back. These two I am going to keep as well, so let's put them over this side. The Anastasia Modern Renaissance I am going to keep because that's the only Anastasia palette that I really use. The Urban Decay Beached Eyeshadow palette, I don't really use this anymore. It was really pretty, but it's not really my thing, so I'm gonna get rid. This is a little Bare Minerals one, which is small, so I'm gonna keep it, and I do like it. The Balm Nude Tude palette. This used to be one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes, but I have not used this in forever, so I'm gonna get rid of it. The Juvia's Place palettes. The Saharan by Juvia's is this one, and the Magic by Juvia's is this one. I am not really going to use this one again, so I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to keep this one just for now, you know. Okay, let me just unpackage these. So this one is the Onyx Palette by Jordan. That was probably my favourite one, I think. We've then got Fuego, which looks like this. A little bit too pinky for me now, so I'm going to get rid of this one. And then the Trooper palette. Oh, this was so beautiful, but I just don't really use it. I'm gonna get rid of that one. Obviously I love Jordan, absolutely nothing against her, like we're really good friends, but this is the main one out of her collection that I used, and the others can just probably go to a better home. The Urban Decay Game of Thrones eyeshadow palette. I love Game of Thrones, and this is like a full-on collector's item. It is also actually a really nice palette. I'm gonna keep it just because I'm a bit of a nerd. The question is there enough room for my conspiracy palette? Oh my god, just. And the Roaring Twenties one, and Tati Beauty, and the drawer actually closes. In my eyes, I think that's pretty good going. So, all in all, this overflowing box is what I'm getting rid of. I would say that's not bad. I'm gonna end this video here because I've just realized that I've been filming for way too long. I am supposed to be going to James's and cooking him dinner for when he gets back from work because I'm a lovely girlfriend, and I've also got to edit this and upload it tonight, so I'm not sure how I'm gonna get that done, but I'll give it my best shot. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it was probably long and boring for some of you, but if you did enjoy it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you want to stay tuned for the rest of my like moving process and declutterings, then make sure you press the subscribe button and turn my notifications on, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!